Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is Krista here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you don't know your Moon and Rising sign Pisces, there's a link in the description box where you can check out your whole birth chart, and that way if you want additional information for the week, you can always look at your Moon and Rising sign readings in addition to your Sun sign reading today. So this is for Pisces for the week of August 1st to August 8th. So we'll be doing a 5-card reading today with the Wisdom of the Oracle Tarot, and then drawing additional message cards from each of the Healing with the Angels Tarot and the Medicine Card Tarot. We're looking at general messages for your sign today. I'll be asking, what does your sign need to know? That way, if you're looking at the spread in some here and you say, oh yeah, I totally get that, then just know you're moving in the right direction for you. Otherwise, any new information that's available here is just information that you may not have been aware of that was available to you, or possibilities that are available to you. So I will encourage you to apply any messages here that you find helpful and healing on an intuitive level in terms of what is most prominent in your life this week, Pisces. So let's begin. Let's get 5 individual jumper cards for Pisces. What does Pisces need to know? Ooh, I thought that one was going to fly, but it fell back in the deck. So we just need 2 more individual jumper cards here, and then we'll get a little snapshot of what's going on generally, and then we'll look at each card one by one in their position. Following those explanations, I'll hold each card up to the camera for you so you can get any additional information regarding symbology or coloring that you react to intuitively, okay? So we're just going to get 2 more jumper cards here. If, say, in the next 30 seconds or so we don't, never mind, we only need 1 more here. If we don't see in the next, say, 30 seconds, I'll pull one from the center of the deck for you. Never mind. Fantastic. Okay, Pisces. So generally, just as an overall snapshot of the entire reading, we are looking at issues of having healing be part of the growth process, that your personal spiritual even growth is possible through healing mechanisms, mending, repairing. The choice is up to you in which world to reside in. Fear is the enemy. Just remember that fear is only lack of love, and if love is injected into whatever is occurring here, that there will be no issues, no problems, no hiccups. And to remember to be in the present. The present is, I mean, really, if we think about the word, right, being in the present, being in the moment, being available to the current situation without relying on the past or the future. Another way to interpret the past and the future, particularly in this position in terms of an outcome, after a great deal of healing and knowing what is best for you, is to say, I refuse to indulge in depression and I refuse to indulge in anxiety, right? These are other themes of past and future if we really contemplate those terms. So, great deal of healing. You're helping yourself out of something. It's through your own endeavor. You could be mending something within your own life for yourself, by yourself, or with another individual. Regardless, this is going to help you on a grander scale. You're also going to feel as though you have what it takes to move into the present, to be in charge, not in control, right? Control is a little bit of a misnomer as well, but to be in charge of what is on your mind and what plays on your mind and how your mind uh, engages and behaves in the world. If you can be in charge of that, you can be in charge of being right here, right now, which is all we really have. So, in each position, we are going to begin just looking at what cards are in each position, getting a greater feel for what they mean on their own, beginning with the central position. This represents you, Pisces. This is deep knowing. In a moment I'll be able to show you the image in the card, but for example, the owl has her eyes closed. And it's a predatory animal, so you must understand that there's a great deal of contentedness and feeling safe here. um, like I said, if there's any fear at all, it's just a lack of love, and it could even be an old habit, pattern, belief systems. Whatever it is old and it's being fixed, or it's in process of being fixed, or it needs to be mended in order to feel as though you can relax in this deep knowing. Okay, please, whatever you do, don't be fearful of knowing something deep and great and powerful, possibly even esoteric or occult knowledge, um, about the universe, about yourself, about the human being, about the human condition, whatever it is this week, most prominent in your life, that to show no fear here. I honestly don't believe that in a general sense, the Pisces would be fearful of this, but the only caveat would be about undermining it, right? You don't want to undermine it either, or say, well, I have this enormous sense of something, but I'm not going to act on it. Or I have this enormous knowing or understanding of something, but I'm not going to use it to my advantage. I would steer away from that, and I would use all of these knowings and knowledge and aptitudes to your advantage. I don't consider that an abuse of power. An abuse of power is different than taking advantage of something that works for you. So if there is at all a slippery slope there for you, just be sure to manage this deep knowing or understanding in a way that is working for you and not abusing a position of power over someone else. Okay. In the energy that you're just leaving or bringing into the week is the mending card. This position really helps color the rest of the week for you. And I can see that this involves a great deal of emotional and psychological effort here. In order to even partake in mending, Pisces, we have to become aware. And you've already done that work. You've already had that look in the mirror, right? You've already had that look at the person you were, the habits you've had, the belief systems or concepts that you have or use that you now see aren't working for you. You can do something else now. You can transform that into something else. You might even be turning to someone else for help or assistance at this time. Keep it up. If this is something between you and another person, certainly they are in participation with you. So there is something that's being mended. You're not to be responsible for doing 100% of this work. If you find yourself in that position, maybe hold off or insist that the other person meet you in the middle. I don't see that, though. I see that this other person is willing to meet you in the middle and is very happy to be part of the mending process with you. And it could ultimately help lead you to this place even faster, right? If you have the assistance of the other person, you're both on the same page, so to speak. You both yearn for the evolution of the relationship. You yearn for things to be fixed or mended. Fixed sort of means like it's static. Mending means that you recognize that something has been undone, but you're willing to put it back together. So it's more of an emotional endeavor here. And I personally appreciate you working on this, all mending, all emotional mending and emotional growth. It causes ripples for humankind. So this is really actually very important that you've gone through the phases or the stages rather of even looking at what needs to be mended, right? Like you can't just get to the, oh, I'm going to mend this. You have to face what needed to be mended in the first place. So really thank you for being bold and courageous enough to even get to the point where you're saying, look, I'm willing to work on this. This is important for all parties. So just fabulous here. And in the between worlds card is in the what is working for you. This is really just about stepping from one world to the other. This is recognizing as well what is available to you. It's really playing off of the here and now, the probable outcome card about centering yourself, being here, refusing, as I said at the beginning, to give in to the past or the future. Because the past and the future really essentially amount to, if we're honest, depression and anxiety, right? So this is what it's working for you is your decision. This is your decision, your enactment, your propensity to get to this other place by making it important enough to do it. So ultimately, it means you have to leave something behind. That's fabulous. All of us do in order to get to the next level or the next stage. So just remember that what you do leave behind creates an opening for something greater than, as good as or greater than what existed there. So you don't have to give up something and create a void. You can give up something or let something go and just create room for something better for you. In the what is working against you or that you need to become aware of is go the distance. You're in a bit of a race here. You're in possibly some sort of hurry or feel as though you're rushed, but you do feel like you're going to win. What I'm seeing here is that this is just one stage, that you're going to win this stage and then there's more to go. So just consider that this occurrence or what's happening here is a process. It could be fairly long term. By that I just mean, you know, a couple more weeks, where you're going to have to continue flexing this muscle, so to speak. But the beautiful thing about getting to this place, the keen awareness, the process of mending, the decision making, is that by creating this muscle, right, strengthening this, it helps you build the armor, the endurance, if you will, to get to the next level and the next level and the next level. So this actually is working in your favor, to think that you have to keep going with this. You are winning the race, whatever race you're having with yourself, or you know, game this is, or whatever achievement this is for you. You are winning. So don't feel like it's going backwards for you. It's just that you're winning this stage, and then there's another stage, and then there's another stage. But it's all part and parcel of the whole process. So don't feel like it's just like, I did everything I could. Why am I still trying? Or why am I still struggling somehow with something? It's because it's part and parcel. You have to keep going. And like I said at the beginning with the here and now card in the probable outcome, I really feel strongly that the struggle is going to be between this sort of past future, this anxiety slash depression mentality, this hold over you, this you know, they say, you know, misery loves company type thing. It could even be a peer group or not even necessarily a set of behaviors or patterns, but a whole group of people, right? Who expect you to react a certain way or expect you to be able to identify with them when they talk about how bad or awful or terrible things are and so on and so forth. I think that what's happening here is you are working yourself out of it. And this could be part of what's keeping you from getting to the next stage, frankly, is feeling even responsible for other people or other people's issues or foibles or their own personal inability to move on as well. But the reason why I think this is so important for you to continue in this direction is that you can you can act rather as an illumination for those individuals, even if it causes a temporary severance, a temporary upset, a temporary removal. Okay, I do believe it's temporary only because we have the egg here. We have something that is growing, something of its own. Something needs to be cracked open. Something needs to exist for all to see. So I think if other people who are watching you, or whom you believe or they believe you're responsible for, I think that you could act as a leader here just by giving yourself the permission to do it. Okay, you give it to yourself, and you provide it for yourself, and you create it, and by virtue of doing this, you create opportunity and an example for anyone who's watching, whether or not they can stay by your side at this time while you're developing, while you're growing, while you're in process of mending. Not everyone can be at these stages with us. Certainly, Pisces, if there is someone who's with you at this stage and they're congratulating you, they're going through it with you, they're, cheering you on, they want to learn from you, consider them your ally, stay by their side, because they're curious about your growth and they encourage your personal growth. So if you have a cheerleader of any kind this week, give them a hug, say thank you, because they believe in you and they know that you have it within you, and they know how important it is for you to be able to be here now. Okay? Be here now. Sincerely, and I mean this for every human being on the planet, zodiac sign notwithstanding, all any human being has on the planet right now is right now. That's it. We don't have the past. I mean, think about it. That's really the only time travel we have. That and the imagination. We can go places in our imagination. Well, it feels like time travel. And we can really pay attention to the past, which is going to feel like time travel, right? But you can use your imagination for greater things if you want to, but that's the imagination stage. This is all about the material world. This is about being here now in the material world. What do you have now? What do you want now? What do you make now? Because the past is over and the future ain't here yet, right? And again, I'm just going to state briefly one more time, the past could be considered depression, and the future could be considered anxiety. So if those terms are resonating with you, just recognize that those are issues of time travel, okay? They're not reality anymore. The past is literally the past. And if there is what we call a projector, right? If there's a projector in your mind that's playing something over that needs to be mended, right? Conversation, a relationship, a theme, a period in your life, whatever. If that's what's going on, it's time to take charge of that, okay? It's time to continue taking charge of that. Remember, taking charge is different than taking control. There is no control. There is no control. Nature is control. The only entity in this planet who has control is nature. What you can do is be in charge. You can be the boss of what goes through your mind and what doesn't. So that's what's going on here. Remember to be the boss of your mind and go with the flow. Go in positive healing directions for yourself, because the decision is yours, and you know what awaits you on the other side. So believe that you are worth it and you have what it takes, Pisces. One of your additional cards here is body care. This always screams about taking care of the mind as well as the body. It could be very well, Pisces, that you have a health issue, mental health notwithstanding. And if that's the case, really pay attention to this now. Go see a physician if possible. Don't put it off. If there's any aches and pains particularly, don't put it off. However, if it's not a mystery, but you are experiencing discomfort or pain, take charge. Don't wait. If it's about you're getting stiff, or your bones are getting stiff, or you're not moving enough, move your body. Get up and move. Try something. Do something. Take a walk. Stretch. On the other hand, it could just be about creating a nice balance between the mind and the body. This week, there could be an overemphasis perhaps on the emotional world, on issues of mental health and wellness. Fantastic, right? Keep it up. But at the same time, the body does require care as well. If it's not particularly having to do with health care in terms of something falling apart on the physical body, it could be about pleasuring the self, finding room for pleasure. Um, and by this, I just mean like a haircut, get your nails done, get a massage, get something that feels good to the body, as well as the mind, particularly as you're going through this mending period. Because, as I said, this race isn't over. Like, you're going to need a little bit of a, like a pit stop. Get that fill up, get those tires changed. As a euphemism, so you can continue on, so you can continue to feel good and you're not depleted. Okay, and just a beautiful way to end this spread. We have the moose. The moose is keyword of self-esteem, and I'm telling you, what you're doing here and now, Pisces, is really elevating your self-esteem. It's adding not only to your own self-esteem, but believe me, you are illuminating the way for other individuals. You could even become a bit of a teacher here, uh, even if it's what's the word, if it's not official. You could be impacting other people in ways that you can't even count right now, or ways that they aren't even aware of either. So stay true to the course, stay true that you know what's best for you. Keep mending those fences, so to speak, those alliances. Remember, the race is won but not over. Your decision to move between this and the next world is the next stage for you, and that the past and the future, it's time travel, hun. It really is. And all we have is the present. Self-esteem is your quietest best friend this week. So turn to yourself, mend fences with yourself as well. Become your own ally, and you'll be able. I believe truly that you'll be able to have the strength to keep going here. I really appreciate all the hard work you're doing. So keep it up, Pisces. If you have a second, please let me know how this works out for you. I'm always genuinely curious to see how this works out for all signs that I read for. And if you're not already, subscribe to my channel because I upload readings for your sign every single week. So until we meet next time, take good care, Pisces. Bye for now.